Hello YouTube and welcome to the comic book channel. In today's video I will be showing my new release comic book pickups for the week of March 8th, 2023, as well as my books from last week, March 1st, because I sadly did not make a video and I completely forgot, and some back issues. To get us started with this week's books, from IDW, here is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Armageddon Game, The Alliance, issue number 5. Next up, we have Children of the Black Sun, issue number 3 from Ablaze. From Archie Comics this week, we've got a new number 1 with Betty and Veronica, Friends Forever, Rock and Roll. Here is a new number 1 from Dark Horse Comics. This is Clear from Scott Snyder and Francis Manapul. From AWA Upshot, here is Black Tape, issue number 2. This is the metal album homage covers. Over to Image Comics, here is issue 339 of Spawn. Got a new number 1 from Image this week, and it is Stoneheart. This is also the book that I will be doing with my friend Bob on my podcast this week coming up. So if you want to hear more about this issue, please check out the podcast at All New, All Different number 1 Comics Podcast, or you can check it out here on YouTube as well. But this is the book we'll be covering this week, so get stoked for that. Next up from Image and their Top Cow imprint, here is Arc number 1. It's a one-shot. Over to DC Comics. Here's a pair of Flash 794. Don't know why I got a pair. I think it was an accident. Part of the 1 Minute War. Speaking of the Flash, here is the Flash 1 Minute War Start the Clock one shot. And over to the other only thing that DC does, Batman. Here is issue number 133. And issue number 133B cover. And issue number 133C cover. Art journal cover. That is a horrible cover, in my opinion. I really dislike this cover a lot. Don't ask me why I have it. My local shop just puts every Batman, all the regular non-incentive variant covers in my pool, which I'm fine with, but that's why I have so many of the Batman issues. Here is The Joker, the Man Who Stopped Laughing, issue number 6. Here is a book with a really, really nice cover. This is Poison Ivy, issue 10. This is the Joshua Middleton variant. Not the 150 foil variant, but the B or C cover. Really nicely done, though. Here is Adventures of John Kent, issue number 1. Stoked to read this, part of the Dawn of DC storyline. That first Superman issue was really, really good. If you missed the podcast episode on that, make sure you check it out, because that was a fun episode. Over to Marvel Comics, here is Nightcrawlers, issue number 2. Sideways issue there. Sideways cover, at least. Here is Scarlet Witch, issue number 3, with this cool MCU WandaVision cover by David Nakayama. This is a really great cover. This would be a great cover to get signed by the cast. I might just try to do that. And here's the regular cover for Scarlet Witch 3. Such a good series. If you're not checking that out, make sure you do. Here's the second printing of Wakanda, issue number 4. We've got Jason Aaron's final issue on this run of Avengers 66. And this is this crazy variant with all of the Avengers ever or something. Got all that. We got all that. It's a lot of fun. Everybody is on the cover and back cover here. If I can get the backing board back in, then we can move on to the next issue. But only then. Next up, we've got Black Panther, issue 15. Variant cover on that. Here we've got Silver Surfer Ghostlight, issue number 2. Got Mary Jane and Black Cat, issue number 4, with Mary Jane's cool girl power t-shirt. Here is Amazing Spider-Man, issue 21, with the regular cover. And then I did also pick up the 1 in 100 Disney 100 variant cover. Next up, we've got the new number 1 X-23 Deadly Regenesis number 1. Looking forward to this. It's been too long since we've had an X-23 series. Here is X-Men issue number 20, the Planet of the Apes variant, as well as the regular cover here. Got a pair of, oh, my stack is falling, of Moon Knight 21s, regular cover. Really, really excited about this book as well. This is Bloodline, Daughter of Blade, issue number 2. Here is New Mutants, Lethal Legion, number 1, the regular cover, as well as this Greg Land variant. Here is Star Wars Bounty Hunters, issue number 32. And then also a pair of the Inferno Squad first appearance covers. Great book to grab and hold to the back for later. Hold to the back, hold back, I don't know what I'm saying. Next up is my stack from last week, and I'm all over the place, so you'll have to excuse me. Maybe I'll move these out of the way. There we go. From Image Comics, here is Phantom Road, issue number 1. Got Rock and Roll Hell, issue number 1 from Sumerian Comics. Here's a book that was really, really good, Where Monsters Lie, issue number 2. Also from Dark Horse, here's a new number 1, Skull and Bones, Savage Storm, number 1. From IDW, here is Breath of Shadows, with this really cool cover. Here from AWA Upshot is Red Zone, number 1. Here from Keen Spot is The Hollowed, issue number 1. From After Dark, here's issue number 5 of Flesh-Eating Cheerleaders from Outer Space. Mad Cave, here's Hunt, Kill, Repeat, number 1. Over to Marvel, here's issue number 1 of Hallows Eve, the Rose Besh cover. Got Venom, issue number 17. Here's the book that we covered on the podcast last week, issue number 1 of Cosmic Ghost Rider. And this is the Howard the Duck variant. Guys, if you did not check out that episode, please check it out. You will love to hear me nice and sick, but reviewing nonetheless. Here is the end of the Murder World storyline, Murder World Game Over. Got Ghost Rider Proper, issue number 12 with this cool variant cover. From Stephanie Phillips, here is a new volume, a new number 1 of Rogue and Gambit. Got Spider-Man, issue number 6 with this cool silk cover. Here is Spider-Man Unforgiven, number 1, right? Yeah. Cool Stormbreakers variant. Love that cover. And I also love this cover. This is Spider-Gwen Shadow Clones, number 1. with the Stormbreakers variant on that one. Over to Scout Comics. Here is Category 0 Conflict, number 3. This book that sounded really, really cool that I have not read yet. And new number 1, Banshees. Here is a $10 one-shot from Scout called And We Love You. Also from Scout, a new number 1, Dead Fellows, number 1. Great cover on that one. And one more from Scout here. This is Snow White Zombie Apocalypse, number 1. This is the 1 in something, 10, 5, 15, I don't know. One of those. Over to DC Comics. Here's DC Ruby, number 1, and a new volume. Got Blue Beetle Graduation Day, issue number 4. Here is Detective Comics, issue 1069. As well as Detective Comics, issue 1069. And Detective Comics, issue 1069. Here's the second printing on World's Finest, number 11, with the Jack White variant. Here's Action Comics 1052, part of the Dawn of DC storyline. We got the Jenny Frison variant for Harley Quinn, issue number 27. And then here is that final issue of the Human Target, issue number 12, with a cool David Nakayama negative space-ish cover. And then last up, 4 new books from last week, is Aftershocks one-shot All Night and Every Day, big magazine-size book here. Those are my new number 1s from last week, and I will clear those out of the way. And we'll go over some back issues. Maybe I'll hold them down here this time. I got from the Marvel Knights run, issue number 1 of Wolverine Punisher, as well as issue number 2 and issue number 3 as well as issue number 4. And rounding that small section of the run out, issue number 5. Also picked up from Dark Horse Comics, Predator, The Bloody Sands of Time, number 1 and 2. So there's 1, as well as 2. Great cover art on those books. I grabbed Star Warriors, number 3. This great Bill Sienkiewicz cover, as well as number 4, also equally with a great Bill Sienkiewicz cover. Here from Image Comics is Nightmare, number 1. Grabbed a small run of Beavis and Butthead, so here's issue number 1. Issue number 2. Issue number 3. Issue number 4. And issue number 5. Next up, I picked up the IDW Comics Back to the Future number 1. Some cool licensed stuff that I didn't have in the collection. I did pick up the Real Ghostbusters number 1 a couple of months back, so now I've got issue number 2. And issue number 3. As well as issue number 4. And issue number 5. A book that actually has been pretty damn good, that I only grabbed one copy of the first issue, so I grabbed a second copy. Here is How I Became a Shoplifter, #1. And then I missed out on #2, so I got that in the mail as well. Here is a couple of copies of Avengers, 292. That one and that one. Here's issue #3 of Saved by the Bell from Harvey Comics. Just look at the great cover on that. Girls popping out of a granola bar. Here's Avengers #107. Picked up Amazing Spider-Man, issue #492 or 51, whatever you want to call it. Here's Eve #1. I also picked up all 4 parts of Superman for all seasons with its very funny artwork. #1. There's book 2. Book 3. As well as book 4. Also from Malibu Comics, got some Street Fighter books. Here's #1. And #2. And here is the best of Street Fighter #1. Those are the books I picked up the last 2 weeks. Sorry for not releasing a video last week, but I completely forgot, it slipped my mind, so my apologies. But I appreciate you guys checking out this video. As I said, if you're still here, I do a podcast every week. It's called All New, All Different #1 Comics. It's with me and my co-host Bob. Last week we reviewed Cosmic Ghost Rider #1. This week we will be talking about Stoneheart #1, as well as any comic book news that's out there. Please check out the podcast or check it out here on YouTube. Anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in and checking out the video. Let me know in the comments down below if I missed out on anything awesome. And as always, I really, really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys next time.